Hello, good evening, and this leads our bulletin. Legendary kwaito musician Mandoza has passed away. The Nkalakatha hitmaker had been receiving treatment for cancer. 38-year-old Mduduzi Chabalala had been diagnosed with a type of throat cancer which had spread. The musician's last public appearance was at the Thank You SABC concert last weekend. His family released a statement confirming his illness last week. Composer and producer Gabi le Roux produced one of Mandoza's big crossover hits, Nkalakatha. He now joins us via Skype. Gabi le Roux, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. First, our condolences on the passing of someone you've worked so closely with. Firstly, just tell us, how did you meet Mandoza and when did you start working together?
Well, firstly, just thanks for, the thoughts and the condolences, and also to all the friends and fans out there that during this time showed their solidarity, and I can assure you from us and the family, we really truly appreciate that. Mandoza and I go back to 1996 when myself and my partner at the time, Tim White, we were friendly with Arthur Mafokate, already then, and we said to Arthur we would really love to produce some of these young kwaito boys that were coming through the ranks then. And Arthur, introduced us to the group Chiskop. At the time, it was Mandoza, General GTZ, and the other two Chiskop members, Sizwe and Sbu, who we've also lost, over the years. So since then, him and I have had a very memorable relationship, and it's a really sad day for all of us today.
And of course, at the height of your working relationship with him was this hit, Nkalakatha, that was produced, a hit that was loved by everybody. Can you tell us, how did that moment come about when you composed that song?
Well, a lot of people don't realize that that song was composed and produced in my house in Fish Hoek. I'm speaking to you from Fish Hoek and down in Cape Town at the moment. Mandoza was very fond of Cape Town and the Cape Townians, and on a day like today, it's also fair that we just fly the Cape Town flag in his honor. He's got a lot of fans down here, people who understand that a lot of his good work was done down in Cape Town. We were in my house. My studio was still in my house back then, and I was just messing around on the keyboard with the well-known riff, down, da 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 down, and he came running in. He was out in the garden, and he came running in, and he just said to me, "Bragab, this is big," So he immediately realized that riff was catchy, and he immediately had some vocals to put to that. So I put him in the booth, and immediately he delivered that Nkalakatha lyrics. The song was really one of the easiest songs that we've written of all the work that we did. I think we had the essence of the song ready in about 2.5 hours. So in a way, him and I discussed it many times, and we both believed that somehow it must have been divine intervention.
And of course, as somebody who's worked very closely with him, tell us about his work ethic.
It fluctuated during the years. I don't want to sit here and paint a rosy picture. We went through many ups and many downs. And there were times where, like I just explained to you, like with Nkalakatha, it just came easy. There were other times where, we were under pressure to perform from the record company and from media and from the fans. And then with that pressure also comes responsibility, and it makes sometimes it distorts and dilutes the creative process. So what I can tell you is, in terms of his relationship with his music, he was always absolutely committed and dedicated. There was nothing else that could distract him, Yes, we lived through everything that the music industry brings with it, and particularly being a celebrity. But at the same time, once we got down to the nuts and bolts of the creative process, he was there. And when the creative juices started flowing, it was an amazing thing to witness and to be in the presence of. I would give him some music, and it may take some time, and then suddenly it would just start flowing. And I was really honored, to be part of that.
And of course, it was not only music that you shared. I mean, as people who have known each other since 1996, you've obviously had a very close relationship as well. What are some of the fondest memories you have of him?
You know, I think one of the fond memories that I can recall is after his first album, 925 Zola South. You know, that album didn't really cross over yet. It was a massive hit, you know, in the Kasi and around. But he came to Cape Town. We just flew him in just before lunchtime, and I took him straight to the waterfront. And we first went and had a lunch, and we spoke through what we were going to do on the what was then going to be the Nkalakatha album. And Mpho was pregnant at the time with his firstborn, Tokolo. And he was just telling me, "Yo, you know, she's pregnant now. I'm not too sure when she's going to have this child." And the phone rang, and he just got the news that his first son, Tokolo, was born. And that was absolutely memorable. We got in the car, we paid the bill, and we got straight back in the car. I took him straight back to the airport. And he was absolutely beside himself. He was screaming out the window, and it was like watching a little boy. You know, it was the most amazing thing for me to be there with him when he was told of his first son's birth.
Definitely quite a precious moment there. I mean, also one of the people who has been his pillar of strength since the beginning was always Mpho. And even right now, she was still at his side. Can we just also, you know, tell us a bit more about that relationship that he shared with his wife all these years?
Well, it's very, very important that you ask that, because I don't think anybody knows, in all of this devastating and sadness, it should happen on Mpho's birthday. It's Mpho's birthday today, guys. And, you know, for her on her birthday to lose her man is the most devastating thing. At the same time, I want to use this opportunity to bring honor to this woman, this young African woman, who's one of the most strongest people that I've seen in my life, who've stood there with him through thick and thin, where many others would have abandoned him, but gave him 3 beautiful children and stood with him through thick and thin, loyal to the last. And what's really sad as well is that in recent years, he really, really turned out to be such an amazing dad and father to his kids, and an amazing husband. He got more spiritual, he got closer to God. And, you know, I suppose to lose him at a time like this, from that point of view, perhaps one can see as a blessing. But still, for Mpho, on her birthday today, I want to say to her, and I want to say to South Africa, you know, as much as what you love Mandoza, give your tributes to the lady who stood behind him, shoulder to shoulder, not behind him, next to him, shoulder to shoulder, every step of the way.
Thank you so much, Gabi. And once again, our condolences on the passing of your very close friend. That was composer and producer Gabi le Roux.